Poor old Patch. The dog started out black and white, and it jumped into a river, a local river down in Leicestershire, and it came out black, white and pink. Embarrassing for the dog, and not quite so funny for the Environment Agency that got involved in investigating it further. This is Patch. You can see it's got a bit of a pink tint to him, and that's actually the active dye that was in the river water that had found its way in through the sewage treatment works. And basically what we had was a very high concentration of this particular colour, this red dye. It was a toxic dye. It had got chrome 6 in it, highly toxic for flora and fauna. And because of the volumetric loading, the amount of stuff that was being thrown down into the drains at the time from various sites around the region, the volumetric overload then overflowed through the treatment works and into the river. So this company was under pressure to clean its act up. They approached us to look at what alternative technologies might be around, either new up-and-coming, established ones, or things that would fit. They had financial and environmental pressures to look at, so we had to look at it not just as a research project, but as a fix-it. The whole project culminated into two basic technologies. Here you've got things called sand filters, which basically took out the loose fibres in the effluent. And then the others were these things, these torpedo-looking tubes, which are reverse osmosis membranes, cross-flow membranes. Basically, we were filtering. It's a sophisticated filter. And I have a little demonstration that can show you what's happening. We've got particles in a solution at the top, blue, yellow, and then the water. A filter, which is the membrane, and then certain elements pass through, certain elements are rejected. These dye stuffs represent a mixture of the blue and yellow making a green effluent, if you like. So that would be the stuff that was finding its way into the rivers. We've got a pump here which draws the effluent through, comes up to here, goes through this membrane, because various membranes are engineered and selected for different applications. I'll just talk about this one for now, which is the reverse osmosis membrane. And this will produce very clear water out of the effluent. On this particular project, I think we recovered 98% of the clean water and 100% of the energy that was entrained in that effluent. So the economics really stacked up. Water saving, cleaning up, and recovery of energy. As a byproduct of that, it also softens the water. So when they were using the water into the dye baths again, you'd actually got hot, softened water virtually for free. The other applications that you might use a membrane for, because of this separation process, is you can recover materials. And in this other one, when you follow the route through this one here, this is another ultrafiltration membrane. This actually splits them out into two different streams. This is the blue and water going through with a little bit of yellow, that's why it's still green. And then you can see that this has started to recover the yellow dye material in the other side. Very versatile technology, very simple, but what we look at here is different applications. We've done what they call beer bottoms, when in the beer manufacture process you've got all of the like silt at the bottom, or the haze, which is really undrinkable. It needs clarification, so you can put that through. European legislation doesn't allow you to sweeten or add sugar to wine, white wine, but what you can do is remove some of the water out, therefore concentrating it up in, like adding sugar. So you're allowed to do that sort of thing. I've done one for cat food, which is really nice. First thing in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, getting a delivery from the abattoir of 300 litres of either cow's blood or pig's blood, and then putting it through the process concentrating it up, i.e. dewatering it, keeping all the proteins together and removing some of the salts. And this apparently improves the functionality or mouth feel for the cats when they're chewing it. So nice.